All right, guys, we're going to look at questions 18, 19, 20, and 21. Okay. 18, 19, 20, and 21 is based on the type of probability sampling. And here are the four basic types of probability sampling. And they're the definitions. A simple random sampling, which means every person under study has an equal chance of being selected. A systematic sampling, you're taking the population by each case value. So every fifth person, every seventh person that I count off, or seventh item that I count off will be a part of my sample. A stratified sampling is when the population is divided into groups and the division of those groups is based on some sort of characteristic. And then you're choosing a specific number of objects or a specific number of people from each group. Where a cluster type of sampling is based on existing groups already. You're picking a certain number of those groups at random. And when you pick those groups, you're using all members that are a part of those groups. So, not to confuse stratified and cluster, yes, they both have dividing of groups. Stratified is based on a characteristic and cluster is based on a location. Stratified is you're picking from every group after you divided it based on a characteristic. Cluster is out of the groups that you already have, you are picking a certain amount of groups at random. And when you pick those groups, you're using everyone a part of those groups. Now, let's answer the questions. 18. A market researcher randomly selects 100 drivers under 45 years of age and 200 drivers over 45 years of age. What type of sampling is used? The answer is stratified sampling. Why is it stratified? Well, here is my population right here. And I'm dividing that population of drivers based on their age. Either you're below 45 or you're older than 45. Below 45, older than 45. I got my signs wrong. Now, out of this group that is younger than 45, I'm taking 100 people, 100 drivers. And older than 45, I'm taking 200 drivers. That is stratified. I divided it based on the characteristic of their age, and I picked a certain amount of people from each group. A researcher randomly selects 50 of the nation's middle schools and interview all the teachers in each middle school. This right here is an example of cluster sampling. The reason why it is cluster is because we are picking 50 of the nation's middle schools. Those middle schools are already existing groups. And when you pick those 50 existing groups at random, you are interviewing all the teachers that are a part of those groups. Let's say right here, this box right here contains all middle schools. In the US, which is probably millions. You're picking 50. You're choosing 50 middle schools. I'm going to call middle schools as MS. And when you're choosing the 50 middle schools from out of that population of all middle schools, you are surveying all teachers from each of those schools. You're surveying all teachers from those schools. That's why that is a cluster sampling. To ensure customer satisfaction, every fifth phone call received by a customer service will be by customer service will be monitored. That is systematic sampling. Every fifth phone call will be monitored. Once again, you're choosing every case value from your population to be a part of your sample. Classic form of systematic sampling. And the last one, a lobbyist for a major aerospace firm assigns a number to each legislator and then uses a computer to randomly generate 10 numbers. The lobbyist contacts the legislation corresponding to these numbers. That is a random sample. Simple random. Every legislator has an equal chance of being selected. You are assigning them a value and you're randomly selecting 10 of those numbers. That is random. And that is it to sampling, guys. Hope that made sense. Hope you understood it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you see the difference between stratified and cluster. I'll see you soon. Take care.